Hi everyone and welcome to Voices of Regalo, where your voice counts, powered by Regalo Foundation. My name is Jane and with me I have fellow ladies.
Oore,
Debby Tolu,
Deborah.
We have a very interesting topic to discuss today. It says learning versus cramming, which is better? Learning versus cramming, which is better? So this is a form of a discussion, so we're just going to share our views on what it really means. What's the difference between learning and cramming?
Who wants to go first?
Okay. Okay, so learning is like a longer process of, like a long procedure of you having to read, understand, assimilate, having a full knowledge about whatever it is that you are learning. While cramming is when you just want to know that, you just want to have a knowledge of that thing for a particular period of time, and after that it might leave your head and it might stay, depending on how how intelligent you are.
Okay, Deborah, what about you?
Okay, I would say learning means understanding information, and cramming means forcing information into your brain, in the sense that when you cram, that means you are memorizing for an exam to be done, and after the exam everything just fades off. While learning means understanding that particular subject, what you want to do, then even after the exam it stays with you.
So I think I'm basically going to summarize all they've said because they've basically explained it. I feel like learning is a continuous process, right? It doesn't just start one day. You start to do it over time. To learn. While cramming is just one-off. So for example, you have a paper tomorrow and you have the area of concentration. You just want to just cram that part for the lecturer and pour it back. So that's basically
So, truth be told, your honest truth, which is beneficial to you as a student, learning or cramming?
Okay, I think to me, learning is better.
Learning is better?
Yes.
You, Tolu?
Cramming.
Cramming. Why cramming? Is it that you don't have chance to read or what?
It's not like I don't have chance to read, but there is this thing called phobia during exam period that I always have. I tend to be, I'm always tensed.
Okay.
Anytime exam is approaching, not that I don't know it,
Okay.
but once the exam is approaching, or once the paper I have is in a short period of time,
Okay.
I just have to put one or two things together. Even if it's an abbreviation of that thing, I have to cram the abbreviation that, okay, once I get into this exam hall, I always remember them and be like, okay, yeah, I crammed this, and these are the abbreviations that I crammed, and these are the meaning of the abbreviations that I cram. Yes.
So, are you encouraging people to cram?
I'm not encouraging people to cram. I'm not encouraging anybody to cram.
Okay.
Learn, attend classes,
Okay.
read as much as you can, like digest.
Okay.
Be attentive.
Okay, Oore, what is your opinion?
So I feel like I'm going to buttress on her point.
Okay.
For me, it's learning, but I think where she's coming from is the fact that for every student, learning and cramming sometimes works hand in hand for you. So you could learn, but say for example, let's say you omitted a part of your notes to read, and then the following morning you hear students talking about that part and you're like, oh my god, I didn't actually read this part. Then you just start to, what you do at that point is not learning, it's cramming.
It's cramming.
Yeah, but I feel for me, because over time cramming has really not helped, because once I get to the exam I often forget. So for me, learning, and I think also based on the kind of course I studied in school, we did more of math, statistics, so there's no how you want to cram the procedures, like the breakdowns, all of that to arrive to your answer, so I think for me learning is still the way.
But there are some instances, even if you learn, like you still tend to forget in the examination. I was in 400 level, and do you know that I was telling my friend, because some things just escaped, please can you spare was for me? I don't remember. Everything just went blank. She was just surprised, looking at me like this. Spare was for you. Are you sure? Are you for real? Because when I looked, I looked outside, I saw some people, they are waiting to pour us water because that was our last paper. I just looked outside the window. I just said, this don't know what's going on here. That one is just the small part. So I had some questions that I have not answered. So I was just wondering, everything just, I learned, I didn't cram. So it just depends. Maybe sometimes tension might just make you, even what you learned, you just, get to forget it. But if you tend to relax, calm down, I think within 1 to few minutes, you are going to, it's going to come back. And one thing one advantage about learning is that it stays with you. It's a lifelong asset. Yes. So to me, I will encourage you to learn. Start on time, start reading, start learning. Some students, once they enter school, they'll say, we are just starting school, let me rest and all that. Some students just like pressure. It's when the exam is like 1 week to. That is when they have this energy to read. But when it's like maybe 2 months, it's still fun now, I can't do this. I'm sure someone like already did that.
Which of them?
Like you wait till it's close to.
I think I did both. Okay. I did both sides. So sometimes, for like example, I said we had more of maths courses. So for some maths courses, you have to start reading like after every lecture for you to understand. Because the truth is, if you left your note or if you leave your notes for like 2 weeks, if you go back, you'll never understand where they started from. Yeah. Okay. So, but I think that there were some other courses. I remember a particular course where everything the lecturer gave us to read, or the notes, handouts, he changed everything like a week to the exam. Okay. So a week to the exam, he printed new handouts for us and told us this is where questions are going to come out from.
Sir, we greet you.
So at that point, you can't really start. Yes, you can try to learn. But at that point, all you're just trying to do is just to let it stay in your head, right? Just to make efforts to pass. But I think another part of learning that most people do not apply is, or most people do not pay attention to, is the application. So it's not just enough for you to learn or start learning the moment you have your first, second, third lecture. You have to apply them. Say for example, you are maybe a chemistry student, right? Even if they are teaching you the formulas and all of that, there are real life applications to those things. So if you start to pay attention to the real life applications, even in the exam, or if you don't remember a particular formula or something, the application will come to your mind and it will lead you back to the memory of the statistics or whatever.
And sometimes as a one advantage of you having friends, after a lecture, you and your friends can just decide, okay, in the evening we are going to meet, we are going to go through this. So even though there is any emergency or anything, but because you've practiced this with your friends, you guys have shared ideas, opinions and all that, when it's time for examination, you don't even need to cram or learn too much, because just like you said, the real life application, you've already started it and you just see that it will just flow during the examination. Or there are some set of people who their method of reading is quite different. They tend to copy notes from another person, maybe close to the examination. Like they read while copying notes, and sometimes they don't do it. Do you have any knowledge of something like that?
Yes. I think for me, when I want to read and understand, because there's a difference between reading and just reading to pass and reading to understand. When I want to read to understand, to read just a particular page, I can spend 1 hour on it. Yes, I can spend an hour on it. Because when I want to read to understand, I make sure I read lines for lines and I understand deeply. Okay.
I prefer when I'm being taught in class, whatever it is that the lecturer has said that I've picked, I let it stick. So if I'm going through my notes, it's just like having like a revision of, because I have like the flashback of what the lecturer has said, and that alone helps. Most times what you jot down might not be exactly what the person has said. So for another person copying your notes, it won't be like what the lecturer has said or what the teacher has given.
Because I have a friend that in fact, it is the day of the examination, she'll be looking for whose note to get to start copying.
Ours was extreme actually. But I always do that copying of notes thing. So while I was in school, one thing is I used to divide my notes into 2 for every class. So on the first part is the normal lecture, the lecturer is writing. I write that, and then the second part is the explanation of whatever the lecturer is saying. So I explain it in a way I will understand. So when I'm going through the note again, I can read it and understand. And funny enough, a lot of my classmates used to borrow my notes because of that second explanatory part of the note. But the copying while reading is also something I used to do that works a lot for me. Because when I'm recopying my notes, like I get another exercise book, so when I'm reading, I'm copying again everything that has been written in class. It helps it to stick in my brain. Sometimes I do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right, in different notes. But I think hers is extreme because she waits till the night of the exam to actually do. Like, so there's no how it can actually stick.
All right. I would like us ladies to give our viewers one last words as regards learning versus cramming. What are your suggestions?
Okay, I would say invest your time in understanding, not just passing. There are some people that are intelligent and some people that just read to pass that they are quite dull. I wouldn't say dull. So during examination period, the intelligent ones will read at home and come to school, then start playing with them. But even the dull lad, I don't want to use the word dull, but the people that are quite dull will also join them. Yes, in the examination, or they are the ones that will just break. But we both play together now. Alpha, give me. They will not know that those intelligent ones have read before now.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay, Tolu.
So I would just say, quick success is not always a lasting success, because when you cram, you tend to forget. Like, there is always a certainty that you will forget whatever it is that you have crammed for that period. And even if the cramming actually leads you to a very good grade, can you actually defend those grades when you are out there? Can you defend them? So you just sit back, you learn, you read, you understand, and even if you later cram, you know that, okay, I know this thing, but I just used this particular one for this particular period of time.
Okay, I would say what you are in a haste to memorize or cram might not even help you in the exam hall, because depending on who you are as a person, right, you might forget when you get into the exam hall. So I would say still stick to lifelong learning, like everybody has said. Stick to learning to understand. Take your time, be intentional, and understand yourself. Because some people need a month, 2 months before an exam to be prepared. Some people, they just need to open the book a day before. I had a friend like that. His brain was he just needs to read the paragraph and can tell you line by line, even after the exam. So I think don't compare yourself to other people. Understand yourself, your journey, you as a person, what works for you, and just stick to it.
Oh, thank you very much. Real learning encourages problem solving and creativity, which I encourage every youth to imbibe. Study from time, like understand yourself, take your time to study so that you understand it, so that it assimilates, so that when even your junior ones, maybe you are in 200 level and you have some students who are in 100 level, they say, senior, how can I do this, how can I do that? Because you read and because you understood, you will be able to teach. You see some some students, when they are in school, there will be some in 200 or 300 level. Those, okay, I'm having some special classes for those who are in 100 level. I see that this course is really difficult for you guys. Come by 6 o'clock. I'm going to put you through and all that. Somebody who crammed throughout all the process won't call the junior student and say, let me put you through. So that is the advantage of relearning. It stays with you. It is a lifetime. And that is why I encourage young people to imbibe relearning instead of cramming. We've come to the end of this section, learning versus cramming, and I will say you should choose relearning. Till we come your way next week, this is Voices of Regalo, and to our ladies, bye.